actually started from the scratch. I used to hawk on the streets of Uyo as an undergraduate. I would carry my products to different places, school gates, to lecture halls. Everybody knew me back then for my products. Even my lecturers, they knew me. Once they see me, they will say margin chin or any other thing they remembered me for. Sometimes it could be food. So that's how I started my business. I actually started from nothing. I didn't inherit Culinary from anyone. Of course, I grew up without a mom. My mom died at the age of 9. So I didn't learn how to cook from anybody. God told me He does not give me a dream that matches my budget. I used to say that opportunities will not meet you inside your house, but it is when you step outside.
So what has been your hardest season of being a present mom and also growing entrepreneur at the same time?
It has been very, very tough for me being a mom and also doing business, because like I told you, I lost my mom when I was 3, so there was nobody practically I could hand over my babies to. I'm always carrying pregnancy, and also I'm always nursing babies in between doing my business. I've never shut down my business for anything, and it actually affected me after I had my last baby. I had my 3 babies within 3 years.
Wow.
Yes. I fell into postpartum depression. Yes, I had postpartum psychosis after my last baby, and it really affected my mental health, but I didn't still stop.
Hello, I'm back again to your screen. I'm your host, Uyime Ebong of the FoundHers Unfiltered podcast. As always, I promise you, I do not come to you empty-handed. I'm always on set with one guest or the other, but trust me, they always a vibe. They always come with something really, really insightful, something really, really interesting, inspiring, and something that will also lead you to the path of growth. I'm back on your screen to host the FoundHers Unfiltered podcast. And this time around, I'm not alone. I will never be alone. I am with Chef Ann. I said chef. Oh, sorry. I'm with Chef Ann. And surprisingly, I do not want to give you her bio off the top of my head. I'm going to read you in 1 minute a very detailed bio, and you feel jealous. Chef Ann Willieti, popularly known as Anny Tasty, is a professional chef, wife, mother of 3, and a graduate of communication arts. She is a passionate culinary expert, caterer, pastry instructor, an entrepreneur dedicated to excellence in the food and hospitality industry. She is the founder of Anny Tasty's Food and Events, Anny Tasty's Culinary Academy, and Anny Tasty Foundation, organizations through which she combines her passion for culinary excellence, education, entrepreneurship, and community service. As a professional chef, she specializes in local and continental cuisines, pastry arts, event catering, and culinary training, with a proven track record of training and mentoring aspiring chefs and food entrepreneurs. Known for her creativity, professionalism, and commitment to empowering others, Chef Ann has helped many individuals develop practical culinary skills, establish successful food businesses, and build rewarding careers in the hospitality industry. Through her work and leadership, she continues to inspire excellence, innovation, and positive impact within her community and beyond. Round of applause. Felt like I was really an exciting one at that. Welcome, Chef Ann.
Thank you
and
so much.
Welcome to the FoundHers Unfiltered podcast.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm super excited to be here.
Okay, welcome. So here we have very easy, honest, unfiltered, raw conversations. Here we can do anything. Here we become vulnerable. We can cry. We can laugh at the top of our voices. We can be excited. We can have low, high moments. Everything is allowed in this space, right? Because I believe that it's not always rosy, right? And every business person should come to terms that it's never going to be 100% rosy. Actually, business has more thorns than roses. You just have to know how to keep the roses aside and lie on them and just go through it, right? So we're good?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you my first question. It's let you introduce yourself too. I've read your citation, but who is Chef Anne beyond the citation?
You've said it all. I wrote the bio, so that's everything about me. I'm a wife, a mother of 3 beautiful children, and a communications expert. I'm also the founder of Anny Tasty Culinary Academy, Anny Tasty Foods and Events, and Anny Tasty Foundation. So
I see what you do. Yeah, I see what you do. I've seen the food, the Culinary Academy, one of the best in the States, in the South region. I've seen the foundation. I've watched your space for a long time.
Yeah, I forgot to emphasize on that. We run the best culinary school in Akwa Ibom State. So you look out for us.
Anny Tasty. Tell them your name. Tell them your name. Tell them where they can find you. Tell them what you do.
You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook at my personal profile, Chef Anne Willie 80, and also our pages on Instagram, Anny Tasty Culinary Academy. Anny Tasty Culinary Academy is also on Facebook, and on TikTok, the best culinary school in Akwa.
Are you currently recruiting? Are you currently admitting?
Yes, currently we are recruiting for the next batch of our training, which is starting on September. Oh, so you are free to register.
So you guys look out if you know you want to explore the culinary industry and you want strong and good hands to lead you through. I can bet you Annie is the person you should go to, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do a recap. Chef Anne, you're running one of the most successful catering schools while being a mom. It's a very tasky thing. So take us back to the beginning. What was the dream? And did you ever imagine it would cost you so much to build it?
Oh, I started my business in 2018 from the scratch. I have one thing that when I wanted to start the business, the dream came so big because there were lots in my head. You know, as a communicator, we taught advertising and marketing. So I had a lot for my brand unveiling and I didn't have the resources. So God told me He does not give me a dream that matches my budget. So that has always been stuck in my memory. Every time I encounter any challenge, I always look back and remember where I started from, because I actually started from the scratch. I used to hawk on the streets of Uyo as an undergraduate. I would carry my products to different places, school gates, to lecture halls. Everybody knew me back then for my products. Even my lecturers, they knew me. Once they see me, they will say, Machinchin or any other thing they remembered me for. Sometimes it could be food. So that's how I started my business. I actually started from nothing. I didn't inherit culinary from anyone. Of course, I grew up without a mom. My mom died at the age of 9. Ooh. So I didn't learn how to cook from anybody. I learned from my dad. My dad is a great cook. So I learned cooking from my dad. He's alive, yes.
We should pay your dad a visit and just to go and eat his food, because if you cook this well, then I can imagine what your teacher has.
My dad cooks very well. He can't stand any meal that is not well prepared. That's why most times he cooks by himself. So
are we free to say that your dad was a mentor?
Yes.
So let's take a quick walk back to your undergraduate days. You said you used to hawk.
Yes.
What did you use to hawk? Snacks?
I hawked snacks, food. I had a food. One of those days I hawked at Christ the King Nursery School. You should know CKC Nursery School.
CKC, yeah.
So I was there. I think that was during my final year. One of the teachers came out and was like, why am I not in school? I'm supposed to be in school. So I told him I'm currently writing my project. He was so surprised. It was like, what would a fine girl like you be doing by this time of the year? So from there, I used to say that opportunities will not meet you inside your house, but it is when you step outside. So that was how my first door of opportunity opened. And he asked me if I could come and be selling in their canteen. So I left hawking on the streets to selling
inside the canteen.
To their teachers in St. Brian's Model College. So from there, that's how I left that space to getting my own physical space from the money I saved.
You just said something. You said opportunities will meet you inside.
Yeah.
So we can also coin that to say opportunities will meet you in your comfort zone.
Won't meet you in your comfort
at all.
Yeah.
So that gave you some level of fulfillment.
Yeah.
You didn't feel any kind of way from doing it. Did you feel any kind of societal pressures? Because see, I understand that a fine girl is hawking, you're seeing your colleagues probably just doing something different, enjoying life and all of that. Did you feel any form of pressure along the line?
Yeah, there were times I used to go to the hostel. I lived in the hostel. So sometimes I would go to visit some of my friends that were in the hostel back then with my container of food. Once I go, you're always coming with this, your container. Can you leave? They were always discriminating. So, but I didn't mind it because I knew who I was and I knew where I was heading to. Today, most of them, sorry to say, they are still looking for jobs.
But
Most of those
you've
people,
created yours.
but I've already created a name
and
for
you're
myself.
creating for others.
We can't count like 3 people in the group, first 3 people on the platform that is doing very well for themselves that they won't mention Anny Tasty.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You know, I always say, sound your bell, hit your gong. Wherever you have the opportunity to celebrate yourself because you are your number one fan. You're the number one cheerleader, and I mean, it's all around there. So thank you very much, and thank you for being an inspiration, and thank you for also showing us that no matter where you find yourself, you shouldn't limit yourself to that space. You should always be ready for opportunities. Okay, having said that, I'm going to ask you, what has been your hardest season of trying to be a present mom? You mentioned you have three beautiful children. So what has been your hardest season of being a present mom and also growing entrepreneur at the same time?
It has been very, very tough for me being a mom and also doing business because, like I told you, I lost my mom when I was 3. So there was nobody practically I could hand over my babies to. I'm always carrying pregnancy and also I'm always nursing babies in between doing my business. I've never shut down my business for anything. And it actually affected me after I had my last baby. I had my 3 babies within 3 years.
Wow.
Yes. My first 3 years of marriage was I didn't know how to plan my life as at then. I didn't know how to navigate family planning very well. So I just ended up having 3 babies under 3 years. And the last one, I wouldn't advise anybody. I know a lot of people admire me. Anny Tasty, you're still very young and you have 3 children already. How did you do it? How did you go managing your business? But this is a part I don't really get to talk about. Most times I used to talk about it on social media. I fell into postpartum depression. Yes, I had postpartum psychosis after my last baby and it really affected my mental health, but I didn't still stop. Despite that, yet I still push. So that was when I had that postpartum psychosis. It was a very disturbing situation for me. So
no. Talking about postpartum depression, talking about postpartum psychosis with pregnancy and all of that, what would you say would be your first 3 recommendations for a new mom? Now, when I say new mom, I sometimes don't refer to someone that just had a baby. A new mom for me defines up to year 5. Because you're still navigating the path. What would you say to that person who has already gotten to that point? There's no thought of turning back at this time.
What I would tell young moms is that you should get help as much as you can. Get help as much as you can. In as much as you are still looking out for a supportive partner, don't fail to use your money to employ people to help you. Because as far as you are making this money should also help you to live.
Yes.
So get help. Currently, I have up to 2 nannies. I've learned my lesson.
They had the way.
Yes. These people normally take me unawares. They would want to leave my house without giving me prior notice. Once they have gotten their money to a certain extent, they will leave without telling you, I'm leaving so and so months. So this time around, I had to get at least 2 persons. An elderly woman that can be like a mother and also a younger person to balance it. So
it can allow you to also grow yourself in your business.
Yes.
Totally. Now let's talk about Anny Tasty. A lot of young women, the whole I want mentality. I'm not mentioning names or anything, but people see success. They see growth. They see a particular level of success and say, I want that, without understanding the underlying factors and the growth process to that. They just feel like, I've seen this person doing this, and it makes sense. I want to just jump in there. What do you think? Or let me put it this way. What are those things that do not make it to the highlight reels? What I mean is, we show people, as communicators, we show people what we want people to see.
Yeah.
People do not understand that that's how the media works.
Yeah.
I wouldn't show you what I don't want you to see. I'll show you what I want you to see. I want you to see the good part. Except right now, people are beginning to show the process and the vulnerability, the other moments. But what are those moments? Maybe just tell me 3. Those moments that do not make it to the reels. They don't make it to the gram. They don't make it to social media.
Yeah,
That has defined you.
Yeah, there are lots of moments. Like I said, during this the postpartum psychosis, there was a time in front of my students, about 30 students. I broke down that was around 10 p.m. In front of my students, I broke down mentally. They had to rush me to the hospital. It never made it to the internet.
Wow.
We were able, and that was a week to our graduation.
Wow.
So it was like 2 days to the graduation. So I still had to, during the graduation, I came out, I spoke, I was really thinking, am I saying the right thing? But people didn't really understand what happened before the graduation. They came out, they celebrated, the graduation is looking so fine. And currently, I got a car and I was still learning how to drive. And I ran into my landlady. That's the owner of my business premises. Imagine hitting your landlady.
No, so it looks funny. It looks funny, but it's not funny. It's not funny at all. Like, it's not funny because, I've had this experience. When you're telling me that, right, I could relate. I used to have a logistics company, right? And one day, on a Tuesday, I'm going to make it very short. I could relate, right? On a Tuesday, on Monday, we had an office meeting. And we talked about speed limit. Talked about driving slow, being normal, being sane. We had 3 bikes then. And on Tuesday, a newly employed staff who hadn't even been with us for up to 2 weeks got on the road and hit somebody. No, he hit a car. And as painful as this may sound, he shattered somebody's back shield and the glass from that thing cut his throat open. Now, for a young business person, being called in the middle of a meeting, I ran to the accident scene without shoes. Luckily for me, the man he hit, his car had rushed him to the hospital. Now, how severe? 2 hospitals rejected him. So it was a private hospital that took him in, and we had to bear some expenses, a lot of expenses, because emergency surgery had to happen. So many things happened. Push that aside. We're struggling there. We even took all of the staff. Oh, let's just go and see you can learn. Guess what? On Tuesday, Wednesday passed. On Thursday, we're right in the office. A colleague of ours in the outdoor advertising industry called. Like, come to this place. So your bike has hit somebody, the second bike. And this time, hitting somebody meant that we had to rush to the scene. And we got to say, take your rider to the hospital. The other guy will survive. So we rushed our rider to the hospital. I think he had passed out. So they were treating him. Then I just told my husband, let's just go and see. Let's go back to the scene so we can find the other person, right? It's just good. It's humanity. We cannot just abandon somebody. And we rushed to the other person. They had taken him to the hospital. Were they trying to get him to be treated? The hospital were dragging. What happened? They said money. We're at the point of paying money. He had gone.
Passed out.
Yeah. So you can imagine, when you were telling me that story, I got to that place of pain. I just told myself, okay, snap back. But you won't go through that. Your car won't be won't be a curse. It will be a blessing to you, Amen. Right? And you get out of that phase. It's just a phase.
It's a very difficult phase. We were about celebrating our 8th year in business. And I think that was my birthday, a week to my birthday. So I was planning to celebrate my anniversary in a bigger way. And I had already put it out online that we are giving out grants to our alumni. So one of the alumni was that merited the grant came to my DM. They heard about the accidents because during the time the police were trying to come back to tell us to pack out from the business premises due to the threats we were receiving. Someone videoed it and posted on Twitter. So the thing trended on Twitter. So my students that merited the grant, the alumni, she saw it, but she still came to my DM during the anniversary week to ask for the money.
She's insensitive.
Very insensitive.
She's insensitive and she's selfish.
Very insensitive. But we still gave her the grants.
Oh.
We still did.
So you see,
it has been a very difficult time, but we thank God.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And we're here for you, trust me. We're here for you. I told you, we'll have you in our prayers, the community will have you in their prayers. We'll also see how we can also support, because it's a win. A win for one is a win for all, and a loss for one is a loss for all. That's how it is. It's on the positive side. And please be strong for us, right? Thank you for sharing that. That was a very, very sensitive thing, but I'm glad you shared it. So I'm just gonna make you. Let's go back to being a bit. Let's leave the tension a bit. So has motherhood made you a better chef, or a better teacher, or a better mentor?
Yeah, motherhood has taught me a lot because, dealing with children, you need to be very, very patient. You need to be very patient. If you are not a patient mother, you can't raise children. So whenever I'm teaching people from different backgrounds coming in, some of them, sometimes they come in 30, sometimes 25, sometimes 20, and they will be doing things that will really trigger you. But sometimes I will just smile and they will be like, sometimes they are making noise and trying to fight each other over food, and I will just step aside, get into my office, go and sit down, and some people will be whispering, do you know Chef Ann is inside, Chef Ann is around. But once I come out, I will tell them that I've learned patience. This is not me of those days.
Before.
Because if it was me of before, all of you, I would have suspended or sent you away. But it is motherhood that has taught me to tolerate people from different backgrounds. So I know when to pause, take a deep breath, and come out again. So
I think every business person needs to learn patience.
Yeah.
Patience for your staff, patience for your clients, and even the environment you find yourself in, because external factors will test you. Internal factors will test you. Family will test you. Everything will test you. So as a person, that should be like a self-developed virtue that you must have. So I wish I had a lot of time. But I don't. But I'm going to ask you one question. You look right into my camera. And also imagine that my camera was a young woman sitting in front of you who is really ambitious, has children, and is confused, right? What would you tell that woman to do? She walks up to you and says, Chef Ann, I am confused. I have 3 children. I can't see. I don't know what I'm seeing of myself. What would you tell her?
I have a lot of them coming into my DM like every day. Some of them tell me, I have lost myself to marriage. What can I do? Childbearing has reduced me to nothing. Most of them, I tell them, come in, like we run a foundation. So some of them, I sponsor them to come and learn from us in order to build themselves, their confidence. And I have a lot of them testifying, look at me. I didn't know how to look at someone in the eyes to talk, or look at me, I've built my confidence, I've gotten myself back. There is this thing that comes with meeting yourself in a goal. It's a therapy on its own. So what I will tell you is that don't feel that you are alone. You are not alone. We are in this together. So there is still time. Take your time and think about what you would like to do. Then you can advise yourself give yourself time. Don't rush, because probably what also affected me, that made me to fall into postpartum psychosis, was that I used to feel I don't have time. But there is still time. I was running my master program in the university, being a mother of 3, and doing all these things at the same time, and it was so much on me. So don't pressure yourself, and don't let anybody pressure you. Just know that there is still time for you. You can still carry on with what you are doing, and if you have a supportive partner, you can share responsibilities, and the sky is very wide to accommodate all of us. So don't feel you are alone. And remember God. Pray
Very
about
important.
everything you are supposed to do, because it is God that has kept us and sustained us this long.
Are you open to mentorship?
Yes. I have people I'm mentoring.
So how do people get access to you for mentorship?
Okay, I have a mentoring platform that is paid and unpaid. The unpaid one is for my alumni.
Okay.
But the paid one,
so people that have not registered for
I've not registered for trainings before.
Okay, so if you want to be mentored, you want to be taught, you want someone who can hold your hands through, is it everything or just the culinary part?
Motherhood, how to navigate
life, culinary, everything. Chef Anny is here. You can reach out to her on her Instagram. Her DM is open, and I'm sure she'll be at the right place to help you. Thank you very much, Chef Ann. Thank you for sharing your precious minutes with us. Thank you for sharing your story too. I'm really grateful.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So, on behalf of FoundHers, the community that believes that every woman has a voice, every woman has a path, every woman can discover themselves. Thank you very much. A gift from me to you and the community as a whole. Thank you for being amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate.
So, guys, we've come to the end of this particular episode. And I'm sure that you must have learned not a thing. Actually, you should have learned from every word in the episode. I've been imparted. I have, Chef Anna has touched a part of me that shouldn't have come out in the world. But we're on a vulnerable set, so why not? So, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on our socials. Like, share, comment. And we'll always bring you interesting episodes on FoundHers Unfiltered podcast. Until next time, I remain your host, your darling host, your sweet host, Uyume Ebon. Bye from myself and Chef Ann.
Bye.
Bye.